joining us on another wonderful Monday. It's a perfect night to play some D&D with your friends. Speaking of those friends, why don't you guys all go around, introduce yourselves. We'll start on this side.
Hello, my name is Michael, and I'm playing Tiny, and our pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Mallory, and I'm playing Animosity, and our pronouns are she, her.
Hi, I'm Irene. I'm playing Moriana, and our pronouns are also she, her.
Hi, I'm Rita, and I'm playing Pyrea, and our pronouns are she, her.
What up? It's your boy Jake. I'm Megasaurus, and I'm playing Duncan Dukes of the Waterdeep Dukes. And we are he, him.
And last and least, I will be your DM this evening. My name is Gideon. I'll be playing a whole lot of people with a whole lot of pronouns. My personal pronouns are he, him. But some of the other people you might be interested in are the Abominable Yeti, whose name is Grrrah, and his pronouns were he, him. Note that I said word.
Is the audio working?
That's what
Oh.
I should check.
Audio.
Yes,
It
it is working.
Deal!
Jojo.
Last we left off, note that I said the Yeti's pronouns were he, him, because last we left off, you guys rid the world of one abominable Yeti. That Yeti got pretty clobbered in the second half of the fight, but in the first half of the fight did absolutely beaucoup damage. Two of your members of your party got pretty thoroughly injured. But all together, you guys collaborated pretty strongly as a team. Some of you guys decided to be a little bit more experimental with the things you tried to do, and that's okay. But the Yeti was taken down. You guys spent a bit more time with Mary. And now... and you met our reindeer, and you robbed it of its sentient thought. Because it was a spy for unknown frost druids with unknown purposes.
Yep.
So, picking up where we left off, there is a dead abominable Yeti. Your wagon has had the roof ripped off of it. And the two of you sitting out front are looking real rough. Very blood-soaked, very injured. You see that Mary sort of trots over with Vixen. Are the two of you okay?
I'm gonna go lay down.
Same. I'm alive.
I'm great. I turned that knee into gravel.
Yes, you did, my lord. Have you ever seen the depth of ice and thought that it was you?
No, that's for losers.
Tiny's just gonna go cry himself to sleep.
Self-reflection. Who needs that?
I was going to offer. I do have some potions, if you would like one or two.
That would be really kind.
So you would like one? Would you also be needing one as well?
Should I say yes, Gideon?
I promise the character's asking if you'd like one. Would you like one as well? I do.
I know the character's asking. I'm asking you. What should I do?
I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna pocket it. We'll save it for later.
Take it and put it in your pocket.
Make a roll a d20. Make an insight check. On
I don't know.
This one's an effort.
Oh, sorry, that's right. It might be a love potion. I didn't even consider that.
It's gonna be
I'm gonna
funny
take
when you
it
offer
right
it up
now.
to
that's in
somebody.
character for time.
This one's blue, and after 4 hours, you should probably
22.
consult a cleric.
22. 22. On a 22, she seems to be genuine on the level. She has a healing potion to spare, and would like to know if you want it.
Oh, yeah, she didn't say it was a healing potion. She said, "Do you want a potion?"
She seems to be offering aid. She doesn't seem to be. There isn't like a mischief to her eyes.
Same thought.
You peel back the rest of the label, and it's a llama.
Tiny's gonna down the potion.
Yeah, it seems she seems to be offering help, and you look at the potion. It looks like healing potions you've seen. It's not dissimilar.
Okay, then Anna will take the potion.
All right, and I think it's a D4, right? Plus 3.
2d4?
That's what I'm checking.
I don't remember. I have Baldur's Gate 3 in my brain, making for mechanics right now.
2D4, and then add 2.
8.
And then as you two...
Now I've got 10 hit points. We're good.
Yeah, never mind.
Right.
Not taking a nap.
I don't need a rest.
See, are you two still going to the back of the wagon?
I'm still resting. Absolutely.
Anybody else going to the back of the wagon? Back of the wagon could take one more.
I'm gonna sit up front.
I'm gonna sit up front too.
Okay,
Are
I
you
guess
gonna
that puts
join?
me in the back.
Oh.
I don't think there's a third seat. It's 2, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's two in
know,
the
but
front.
it would be in your character to just sit right in the middle, squeeze.
Arm around both.
Around the fishbowl.
And the crystals.
I was gonna say, what you say about my character right there?
I mean, I was gonna call you the aquarium's gravel, but
So
Get
Duncan,
back.
so Duncan goes in the back of the wagon.
Back of the wagon.
look, just because I'm human.
I shut whatever curtain is left.
Whatever.
The driver in the
You
wagon.
shut the door. It's now a half door.
Yeah, there's the door is pretty much
The shredded curtain
Yeah,
gets.
the door is pretty much moot at this point, with the top having been ripped off. But yeah, you guys set off once more on your way south. You find that you are relatively near to the shore of an extremely frozen lake, and are able to assume that you are somewhere near Lac Dinishir. And you continue to make your way south, following Mary. Are there any conversations? I presume not you, since they're asleep. But any conversations the two of you would like to have up front? You are
never stop Duncan Dukes.
You are also out front with Mary
I can also
on
hallucinate.
her reindeer.
The Duke's gonna have a conversation with himself.
I learned something actually.
Introspective.
Are you going to do some introspecting?
No, that's self-reflections for losers.
Exactly.
Out front, do you guys any conversations you two want to have, or any conversations you'd like to have with Mary?
Have you asked her about your father?
What would she know?
She seems like a native.
No, she's not from here at all.
Oh,
She
extreme.
said she runs on errands for her
You've
mom.
you've never been more certain that somebody's not native to the material
I know,
plane
She does all the studying.
than with this whole family.
Mary, do you know anything about a man named Carter Marymall?
Carter Marymall.
Short, 4'5" on a good day.
Oh, are they dwarfkin?
Yes.
Historically, our groups don't get along. I know there's a great deal of dwarfkin in a place called Kelvin's Cairn. I know that the Dwargar we are facing are sort of long descended from dwarfkin. I haven't seen any dwarfkin by themselves. You said your father. Are you dwarfkin?
I'm not. I'm adopted.
I was gonna say, I didn't sense any of that about you. You're certainly material-blooded, but there's sort of a odd quality. It's hard to place.
Hard. What do you mean hard to place? I don't understand.
Well, it's not. You know there are different kinds of elves. Are you aware of your, I guess,
I know.
birth history?
I know I'm an elf. I'm pretty sure I'm like a high elf and not a half elf because of how long my ears are.
No. I don't sense any high elfenness about you. In fact, that's sort of what's hard to place. So, if you don't know much history of, it's only fair. You guys taught me a bit about material history.
Okay.
Elves. There was a war a long time ago, in the First Age, between some of the sort of gods isn't the right word, but elven beings of extreme power. And the races of elves sort of spun off of that war. Each clan of elves took sides during that conflict. High elves, wood elves. There was also, moon elves, and sun elves and dusk elves. Most of them have gone long extinct. But the high elves and wood elves remain, largely due to wood elves' hardiness and high elves' sort of vast aspirations towards society. And of course, drow elves were banished to the Shadowfell, along with the Shadowkai, as part of that conflict.
Well, I don't look wood or drow.
I suspect that much of your... There are sort of obvious colorations that tend to affect those particular tribes. I suspect that your color, not to be impolite about it, is probably resulting from your material parent.
Mm-mm.
But yes, your actual elven nature is unfamiliar to me. It is nothing like high or wood elves that I've met, and I've met quite a few. They're very numerous within the Feywild.
What about drow? Do you sense any of...
Admittedly, I've met far fewer, but there's usually a sort of instinct of repulsion. Not an active one, but just from the nature of the war that led to the separation. There's an internal instinct of repulsion that I don't feel from you whatsoever.
Internalized racism.
You're not repulsive.
Yeah, the far-blooded is similarly difficult to place. But that's pretty common with far-bloods. There's a lot of other interfering factors there.
Noted. Okay. Weird information I found out about myself today, but I'm not going to dig too much further because that's not a rabbit hole I'm digging today.
But to address your immediate concern or need, I'm sorry to hear about your father, but I've not seen any singular dwarfkin. I've only heard of the ones at Kelvin's Cairn. I could mark it on your map for you if you would like.
Would I know about this place?
Kelvin's Cairn.
Kelvin's Cairn.
Make a history check.
Alright. 24.
On a 24, you cast your mind back to your childhood, to a moment where... And I don't know how frequent they are, you could tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Where you were listening in on your father in a moment where he was not aware you were listening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If he was telling magical secrets, I was taken away.
Where you were sort of eavesdropping on him in a moment where he was talking to some other dwarves. And they were conversing about sort of where they were from. and you recall a conversation where he said he'd been disowned by Kelvin's Cairn and was not permitted to return. In sort of a private moment, he had a couple of beers with a couple of other fellow dwarves. So yeah, you recall the name as being where your father is from, but a place he is not permitted to return to. You do not know any of the details of that.
I'll have her mark it on the map, just so I know where it is.
Or actually,
And where probably not to look.
do you mind if I ask, having that information, would you have ever tried to ask him about that?
No. I don't think I would have. I would have thought more of he feels similarly about his origins that I do, in that we are who, like, we have each other now. We don't need our whatever biological families.
Hell yeah, brother.
Alright.
Found family, baby.
But she does mark on your map, so you had no idea where Kelvin's Cairn was. Kelvin's Cairn is right here.
What? Oh my god.
That's Kelvin's
right
Cairn.
next to it.
There is also a valley out front, which she marks as the Dwarven Valley.
He did not go that far. Can I just say, between the cabin and Kelvin's, they kicked him out and he traveled like, alright, and then
5
he
miles.
just went into the woods right next door and was like, alright, this is where I live now.
Maybe dwarves are homebodies. I don't know.
We also recall this was just a place he would most frequently return to. You guys traveled a lot when you were young.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny.
See? They know stuff.
I guess I'll look there. Okay.
I'd be,
We're right next to it. I know we should help first.
well, no, I was just going to say, you know, if you would like any further assistance, I'm certainly not as fast as my mother, but, I could make some sort of headway after we rescue my cousin.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Certainly, yes. It seems only fair, at least to me. My mother fully thinks that you are indebted to her because she's so important. But I'm not, so I sort of have a lot of freedom there.
Okay.
65.
Nice.
So you're at 10 minus 55, right?
New friend.
Hashtag friendship
Mhm.
unlocked.
Do you say that out?
Yeah, I'll say that out
Friend
loud.
games.
Oh, yes. I would
bards
I would appreciate it if you considered me a friend. Do you know the Elvish word for friend?
Shut up! We're skipping this.
Speak.
Sorry.
Speak elf.
Ball.
Sorry.
Speak acquaintance.
So you can roll this many d and add
Speak,
one
bitch,
to each of
and
those
enter.
d6.
Speak. Bitch.
Worth it.
It's
It was
1d8
worth it.
for every
All right.
level.
We go ahead and move on here. Eventually, you guys come to settle for the night. Go ahead, move yourselves to about there. Perfecto. All right, you guys looking to set up camp for the evening?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys go through the process of setting up camp, getting everything situated. Are there any conversations you want to have once you've made camp? Once you two sort of come back to, or do we want to jump into watches?
I'm just rolling hit dice real quick. Not well.
for just jumping straight into watches. Who would like to take first?
I can take first.
I'll take second.
Second?
Yeah.
Third?
I'll take last. I don't know if third's the last one.
Yes. Does anybody want to double up?
No.
No.
All right.
I'll double up with
Yes.
someone.
Which one? First, second, or third?
Second.
Okay.
I don't remember who that was. I'm sorry.
I believe that is Moriana.
Okay.
All right. At the first watch, go ahead and make a perception check if you'd be so kind.
20.
On a natural 20.
Not natural.
Oh, sorry. On
Dirty.
a dirty 20. Filthy 20. You are sort of here with your thoughts.
THOTS, not the other one.
It's silent. The blizzard has died down. You sense no clear or present dangers. What are you thinking about?
I don't know, man. Sorry.
It's okay.
Anna's probably thinking about how she almost died, and that would have been bad, and that they've got to be more careful.
Yeah, just as you're sort of ruminating on that, there's a peace sort of this evening. After all of the noise of the blizzard has gone away, there's not like any real white noise to speak of, but certainly much calmer than the day that you've had. Your watch comes to an end here. Moriana and Tiny, any conversations you want to have?
No.
Okay, go ahead and make some perception checks for me if you'd be so kind.
14.
14?
10.
Neither of you really, you're sort of sitting there in the quiet. Not much is said, but neither of you really sees anything to speak of. The aurora begins above you both. Tiny, your mind lingers a bit on the voice that you heard calling to you as everything sort of froze inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely looms on you in this moment. Are you thinking about anything in particular, Moriana?
She's endeavoring to think strategically about how she can be of more use to her teammates in the next encounter. But as typically happens when she's trying to think very calculating strategic battle thoughts, she's distracted by her own thoughts on Mithril.
And your guys' watch comes to a close. Irene?
15.
15. On a 15, you don't really see anything of note. The aurora begins to die down as towards the end of your watch, the sky begins to illuminate just about as much as it does. You see that during your watch, Mary comes to, and once again proceeds with what you saw was her morning routine the previous morning of sort of stretching out and feeding Vixen. Your watches conclude, the night uneventful.
Is she holding food?
Yeah, she seems to be holding a bunch of red berries.
I am going to walk by her and bump into her.
You don't have to keep doing that.
We're gonna do it every
I'm
morning.
sure you can just be like.
You see, she goes,
Good morning.
"Oh, I'm so sorry," and goes and reaches down to start picking up her berries.
I help her pick up the berries, and I go, "Oh no, it was my fault. Don't even worry about it." Good morning.
You see, what's your passive insight?
Do you accidentally touch
You
hands?
just
Yeah, you
Absolutely.
reach for
Just
the
slowly
same
rizzing
berry,
berry
and then
What's
you're
your
like,
passive insight?
Passive insight.
Yeah.
Insight is wisdom. That's 11.
11. You see her cheeks slightly discolor, and she goes, "Friendship is good." Friendship is nice.
No.
Really enjoying friendship.
and hand touching is really big in elf culture too. So you're crossing some barriers there with
We're
those
not
accents.
holding hands.
It's
though.
just they reach
Oh,
for the
you're
same
right.
berry.
You're right. You're right. It's
Gotta
just a
touch
grace.
hands to hold hands.
Facts.
Is
Was
this
that
like
holding?
first base?
That is-
in
I'll
elf?
lead to it eventually. It's a slippery slope.
Oh.
It's the gateway drug to hand holding. It's more
To
nefarious.
hugs.
Facts. Yeah, your watches were uneventful. Go ahead, mark off a ration for
I got
the
it,
five of you.
guys.
You said
Thank
you're
you.
keeping the group total. So mark off
Somewhere
5
in here.
for another day.
Oh, do we get our temp HP?
Yes. Each of you are back to full hit points since you were long rested. Back to full spell slots,
What do we
and
roll
each of
for
you may
that?
roll
Is
a
it
A
d10
D10.
and receive the blessing of the morning word.
15 rations
Nothing
left,
in
guys.
more.
We got 3 more days out here.
Oh yeah.
Could Tiny like hunt as we're going, or would that not be?
Certainly, yeah. You'd have to stop.
That's a 9.
Mm-hmm. Maybe when we stop. Like
Yeah, absolutely. You could like put off your rest to hunt. I would say then you can't take a watch.
okay.
Would just be the only impact there. Because you would need the remaining 2 watches to rest.
That makes sense.
All right. Any conversations you want to have this morning, or are we running right into travel?
Let's travel.
Let's go.
We got a blast, dude.
Let's get on the road.
Raring
Let's
and ready to go.
let's
I
save
love it.
Theo and Sully, but more importantly, Sully.
All right. If you guys could please roll a d8 and
Say
then
less.
2 d20.
8.
8. Okay.
First D20. 1.
Second d20.
10. Yeti.
Isn't that what one was?
1.
Yep.
Hey, yeah, it was.
we gonna run it back?
The Yeti's brother.
The Yeti's wife.
Miss
You killed
Miss
my.
Miss.
Grom.
I'm so sorry that I
I
missed.
told you what the Yeti's name was.
I just remembered it was guttural sounds.
Yeah, you guys head head off on your journey here. The weather does look quite poor. It looks like you're in for another blizzard here today.
Snow. Moriana's
Tiny
gonna
is
slide
gonna
in
be
the front.
on the alert, just looking.
Oh, who's in front?
I'll say it.
Back of the wagon, bow out, scanning the horizon.
I know yesterday something bad happened.
And you were.
Is there a way to check myself to see if I would try to control the weather again?
Make an Arcana check in advance of the
A
attempt.
self-reflection check.
6.
6. You're not entirely certain what happened yesterday. If it was to do with the Yeti itself, if it was to do with the warning that you received from that guard about messing with the weather, if those 2 things were connected, if it's all 3 somehow, you're not really.
Maybe the harp was out of tune or something.
Yeah, there's
Maybe
really,
that guard is a servant of Oral.
because honestly, you haven't had the harp very long. You're not totally certain if maybe the harp just sometimes doesn't work.
Alright, we're getting rid of the blizzard.
Alright, make an Arcana check, please. This will be a DC... Let's go with 20. Nine. You feel the weather resist against the awesome power of your melodic influence. The weather continues to be blizzardous. I don't know if blizzardous is a word, but it's blizzardy.
It's blizzy.
It's heckin' chilly.
There's a blizzy up here. All right.
Well, then I'm gonna use prestidigitation to warm the seats of the wagon.
Ooh, hot dog.
Sea warmers. Prestidigitation sea warmers.
That's the best use of prestidigitation
It did
I've
say it
ever
can make
seen.
things
Yeah.
warm, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Those buds.
Tiny's gonna come give you a hug. Thank you.
Maybe you're just extra warm today. You think about that?
Leather seat
Maybe
warmers.
your
She
blue
went-
cheeks are.
He's,
Baby.
he's sitting next to me.
I guess that's a good point. You said seat warmeth.
Piggity.
Biggity biggity, your cheeks are warm.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Can I do all the seats, like the front seats and the cabin, or just the cabin
I'd
seats?
say what you can do is the seats in the back, every 6 seconds you can warm a seat and then move on to the next seat and then move on to the next seat.
It lasts
So
a
that
minute.
is- well, that's the thing, is it's consistently like keeping all 3 warm.
Oh.
Because it also doesn't just immediately like cool down.
And this is only while I'm concentrating.
You have
So
to
you can
think
keep
about
it
each
you
seat.
can keep it going.
Ghost cheeks.
I'm gonna just be like playing something over and over again on the harp. This song. Do, 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 do,
I gotta
over
say,
and over
you
again.
said higgity diggity or something like
Biggity,
that,
biggity.
and then I was like, the seats are skibbity.
The seats are
I thought that's
So
where you were
skibbity.
going.
Tiny just like looks up and is like, what the sigma?
The sigma.
That's so skibbity. Animosity.
Send Diana back to Ohio.
So skibbity. Let's see here. Eventually, as you guys are writing, you find yourselves, you two up front, make, if you would like to be, are you sort of actively watching, or what's it?
I would like to watch as we ran into something yesterday.
Are you gonna be mad if I say I'm not active? Because
No.
Moriana's
I asked
That's a
because I
character.
eyes
asked because I wanna
glazed,
know.
head empty.
I asked because I want to know.
15.
15. Up ahead, sort of intermittently, as the snow thickens and thins and thickens and thins in imperceptible patterns, you see what looks like a stumbling figure.
Can only
Clad
good things.
16.
as the snow thickens and thickens and thins, you see through the snow occasionally, walking across your path, what appears to be an armored humanoid, roughly of your size, sort of a bit distantly, which is what makes them so difficult to sort of see. Occasionally, the sight is interrupted by a flurry of snow. Clad in armor and what appears to be jagged edges to the silhouette. Maybe some sort of spikes on the armor or frost. It's hard to tell from
Or
this distance.
maybe puns.
What?
Well, we don't know. Maybe some schmice. Some schmice.
Black ice.
Black eyes.
Oh,
Mac Schmice?
Charlotte.
I thought you meant mice. I was like, you just got mice.
Pulls out
Some
rat.
smack mice.
I cast rat.
Notably, he does not appear armed.
I don't see nothing.
I'll go ahead.
Can we see if there's anything in his eyes?
You can't see shit.
You're right, I'm looking backwards.
You're focusing on
Sorry, Michael.
You're hot, but
What was
progressively
your question?
heating and cooling.
I'm
every
gonna
6
point him
seconds.
out to Moriana, and then I'm gonna cast message. I don't know what the range of message is.
Moriana's gonna like
120 feet.
her eyes are gonna
He's within range.
refocus. Can I see it now? Or is the blizzard too thick for me to
It's
really
tough to tell.
Is Molly
Holly.
Holly
Mary?
Mary. That's
Mary Schmolly fucking whatever.
Sure.
Is
She doesn't seem to have noticed anything.
is she on the reindeer ahead of us still?
Only slightly. She's not trying to get away from you guys.
I'm gonna be like, hey, do you see anything up there? Anybody? Pyria says that she sees a guy.
I'm just gonna say friend
hard to
or
tell.
foe. At that person.
At the person. In there.
In
mind.
message.
You see the figure stops and sort of turns towards you. You can see now they have a scarf that is sort of wrapped around their armor, as well as what appears to be like a torn, sort of a capelet, maybe, blowing off of their shoulders. Responding in your mind, depends on who you're working for.
Yeah, Pyria, I'm just not seeing him. You sure the cold hasn't gotten to you?
I'm gonna cast message again. Alright, we're gonna approach. Don't be shocked. I don't.
You get a response. Are you armed?
Tanya has his bow out.
We are definitely not armed. I don't know if you
We're
can
in the
feel it.
wilderness. We're in the wilderness. Yes.
Make sure your arms are laid down.
Alright. Alright. Don't pull out any weapons. We're gonna go talk to this guy.
Wait, what?
I turn the reins and I go,
Tiny has his weapon out.
Tiny, put it away!
Put it away?
Sheath it.
Yeah, shake it, put it back.
Now,
Okay.
does anybody have any
Shake it once. That's
lights?
Shake it twice. That's okay.
We've got
Lights?
prestidigitation. We got 2 instances. I could have been hating seeds this entire time too.
That's just my question. Does anybody have any light on them? Anybody have any torches out? Anything like that?
I got dark vision. I ain't lit shit. Although I guess it's snowy.
The closest I got is fireball.
Does my whisper glow? I guess not in a way that would shed dim
Not
light
currently,
for
no.
15 feet.
No.
So fuck, I don't know.
As you approach, you see the figure sort of turns to face your wagon as you get closer. As you get closer, you see that this is a heavily armored figure, and the sort of jaggedness to their armor is definitely ice. There is a coating of frost that seems to indicate to you that there has been a great amount of time spent out in the wastes of this place. This is not like exceedingly well maintained, and you can imagine inside that it's, as Irene would say, chimbley. In that suit of armor, certainly. They seem to be.
Is it normal ice? Because
It is ice. It is not
It's
black.
not.
Okay,
Guard.
because Anna told us through the guard.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout.
Yeah, it's not black ice. It just
Okay.
appears to be a coating of frost. You see that they have heavily gauntleted arms, and they sort of lift those up to remove their helm. And you see, shockingly, from the demeanor, young individual. They seem to be certainly on the younger side. They also seem to be a little surprisingly thin. You wouldn't expect somebody this thin to be able to wear a whole suit of heavy armor. And yet somehow they seem to be doing just fine. The capelet bears an insignia that you cannot determine, really, as it has been ripped to shreds pretty severely, probably just from wear and tear. They do not appear to have any weapons pointed at you.
Nice.
But you sort of ride forward. And this individual takes the helmet under one arm and sort of waves.
Does Mary react in any sort of way?
Hello?
Mary just seems a little bit surprised that a person is sort of out here.
Yeah.
What's the nature of your traveling out here?
We're looking for
Holiday.
her cousin, and then we're gonna go look for my dad.
Family finders.
Family stuff. You see on his back, under the capelet, it looks like there's maybe a shield there. That is just sort of strung over his back. It's a bit odd that he wouldn't have it like ready to go, but you do see it there. So did all of you. It's dangerous to travel out in a blizzard.
Could say the same to you. At least with us, there's a group.
Yeah, you're by yourself and you don't even have like a horse or anything.
Cold's never bothered me much.
So what brings you
God,
out
we
here?
have met the most powerful character in the game.
This is right.
I'm looking for somebody, and I'm sort of tracking down signs of their presence here. Have any of you heard strange voices? A woman?
Okay, I gotta be real. And this is out of character. Was the voice that I heard when the Yeti did its...
Decidedly female, yeah.
Okay. Tiny, not a good actor, is gonna like clearly blanch when he says that.
Tiny just looks away.
On a natural 20.
Son of a bitch.
Where did you hear it?
In my head,
No, where were you when you heard it?
like a days back,
What did it say?
now freeze forever, I think, is what it said.
I
I
think.
didn't write that shit down. That's what your notebook is. Things happen to you. You put it there.
This shit's closed.
This shit
And it was closed
stays
last
closed.
session, too.
Okay, we need some accommodations up in here. What did it say?
Is that a history check?
You were
Because
right.
he can.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
You see, you guys, that sounds like the person I'm after. Were there any other clues? Did they say anything else?
Oh, I mean, the only person who was there was a Yeti.
I see. So you faced a Yeti. Was it tall or small?
Pretty big.
Do they make
Tall.
small Yetis?
Oh, yeah.
Do they make?
Big Yetis tend to make small Yetis that become big Yetis.
If
It was pretty big.
It was pretty.
It
pretty
took.
large.
Do you see how our wagon doesn't have a top of a wagon?
Mm.
It did that with one swipe of its claws.
Yeah, they can be pretty hard to deal with after your first one or two. They're tough.
You fought 2 Yetis?
All right.
No, I've fought 7 Yetis. Not at the same time. That's crazy.
I'm rolling a check on that. That's
We're on
bullshit.
fucking inside.
That's bull.
Boo.
What am I rolling?
Make an insight check. Yeah.
Oh, son of a fucking bitch.
I'll roll his deception.
22.
22. He seems relatively on the level, and also there's something familiar about him. Make a history check.
Oh no.
I'll give you advantage because you're a person who knows people.
This
Due to your background.
skinty bitch slayed 7 Yetis. This skinny legend.
This
Skinny legend.
winky ass.
Skinny legend. Wait, history?
Yeah.
24.
God damn.
Bless you.
Bless you.
How dare you let me sneeze? Seek to laughter. On a 24, Harper. So the Harpers have really been trying to help out in Elturel. There's a massive effort to sort of help Elturel and Elturgard as a whole get back on its feet. This is like national history. This is like continent-wide. People heard about Elturel getting sucked into the hells.
Hell. How do you spell Elturel?
E-L.
E-L.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. T-U-R.
No.
E-L. So Elturel, people all across the nation heard about Elturel getting sucked into hell, and then returning. And there's a lot of like conflicting stories about what happened. The way that people of Elturel say it, particularly the people in authority, I cannot remember their names off the top of my head, but the new head of the Hell Riders, who is a plucky little knight with red hair, and the new leader of the town, an older woman who was crucial in keeping the town alive. They both say that they were saved by a party of adventurers, and have gone on to describe those adventurers. You think this guy might have been one of them. You heard tale of a...
Skinny legend.
He asked for. They were amazed he could even carry his own armor.
You heard tale of
From
one of the...
in the bathhouse.
Some of them stayed close with the people of Elturel, and some of them went off on their own adventures. You've heard tell of one who most of the other members of the group haven't heard from in quite some time, who went sort of rogue, like nobody's really knew what happened to him. He seems to match the description pretty aptly.
Does he also match the scroll?
No.
This is somebody else?
Yeah, this is another one of my past characters.
And they're all twins.
And they're alive? They're all alive?
Oh,
Not all of them.
We're not gonna meet the dead ones. I don't think.
Aren't you
Not
that,
yet.
aren't you that fucking guy? I don't know. What's his name?
Rowan.
His name is Rowan.
Rowan? The skinny legend? I was gonna say that in character.
You see, he goes,
Skinny Pete.
look,
You want me to charisma check that? Because I'm pretty sure they would take it well. Coming from me!
you see, he goes, how did you, they call me Skinny Legend?
They think I'm skinny.
That's not.
Fucking game. Guys, he goes, you stand, everybody looks skinny next to that guy, okay? I put on quite a bit of weight. You hang out with two of the biggest people you've ever seen in your whole life and see if you don't get called skinny. And Joyra's, my torso's skinnier than Joyra's arms. he's like, yeah, I'm Rowan. Have you heard of me? Are we like, what's the deal with that?
Are we? Did we go to
Do any of
college
us?
together?
No, well, I'm assuming that the Giants aren't fucking talking about that shit, so I'm gonna keep my
No,
own
not
mouth
very
shut.
much. No. You guys have heard of, even you have heard, like, especially in bars, like, stories about what happened in Elturel are frequent and misinformed.
Hey, what if I roll to play? You know, rumors spread in 5e, and I learned about this through song, right? Or they can. What if I roll to play a song that I've heard? That was a rumor.
Make a performance check with advantage.
Hell yeah!
I'm like, oh yeah, I heard this song one time.
He's a bitch. He's a boss.
He's a bitch. He's a boss.
He's a bitch, he's a boss, and he sounds like a boss.
I'd love to hear that on Heart. I can't wait.
The bardcore boss bitch.
At 25.
25.
Oh
You start playing. He goes, they've written songs?
In El Terrell, there was a skinny legend.
They wrote songs about us?
His name was Rowan and he was a twink.
Then he became a twunk.
His shield goes tink.
This
He
really...
saved the people. We haven't heard from him in a minute. I don't know.
Seriously,
The
it
lyrics
came
in there.
right... I've been inside that guy's head and this feels not dissimilar. This feels a lot like what was going on in there. But yeah, I didn't realize that we were, like, famous for that. I kind of felt like...
You brought back a city.
You're keeping people from
I-
going.
You saved countless.
Saving people from going to hell.
I was honestly... The thing the song seems to be, I was like, I don't think I was extremely involved in that. Honestly, that was a lot more... There was an imp, and then there was...
I'm
fucking
getting to that part of the
cards.
song. There was an imp.
There was an imp, and then there was a card, and then there was a giant, scary elf, and then there was an angel, and then there was no angels, and then there was another different angel, and then it was over. Honestly, it happened very fast.
Hey, party politics gets to all of us. That's amazing that you did such an amazing deed.
None of those people were in our party. Actually, none of the people I just listed were people that I would consider even friends. Mostly.
Moriana's gonna
that
go to
was-
Anna and she's
Why
gonna be
would-
like, I've only heard the chorus. I don't really.
It was kind of a lot happened at once. I didn't realize that people were like, I don't think I'm particularly heroic. I'm mostly just focused on, you see, he starts to blush a little bit. I have other priorities. I have different priorities. I'm not really trying to be, like, fame and heroism isn't really something I was even aspiring to at the time.
Well, you got it.
Yeah, I didn't realize. So, like, people, like, know us? We're, like, a big deal?
If the Duke knows about you, you're a big deal.
That's wild.
Duke, did
'cause,
you know
like,
about them?
I've heard stuff. I don't know how accurate it is.
You see what I mean?
They said
That
one of them
guy-
turned into a giant ape.
That
That sounds
guy
fake.
knows nothing. That man's head empty at all times.
That did happen.
Give me the gorilla.
That actually, that did happen, I think.
Gorilla.
There was a lot of stuff that was very confusing.
He does
I
got-
honestly...
Yeah.
Dummy dick.
She
This is
does.
the
She does.
antithesis
An ass that just
of
won't quit.
Rowan.
But yeah, somebody did turn into an ape. Honestly, I guess it doesn't feel legendary when it's happening to you. It mostly just feels scary. And confusing. Like, there was a point at which I think I interfaced with a new god. That was... I guess that's pretty legendary. It's weird to hear that, like, you're famous. I don't,
He's
like, I thought
he's like, no autographs.
I thought I actually knew famous people, like, actual famous people, but like, I'm one of them, and that's weird. And, like, when you laid it all out like that, like, of course, I know famous people, and I did something famous, I guess, but I didn't. It's very,
Yeah,
sorry.
so you've
This is
killed,
a lot of
you've
information.
killed
for me.
like 7 Yetis.
Yeah. And honestly, and I'll level with you, the first two were really difficult. But honestly, so here's the move, okay? Strategically speaking, go for the kids first, then the adults be distracted.
Anyway, have you seen a dwarf man?
Oh, we've got so many people that we need to check in if you see. Mary,
Well, I mean,
pull
we
out
found
that
the
scroll.
We found the
Yeah,
cousin.
I've seen dwarves. What kind of dwarf?
and she's gonna like elbow Pyria and be like,
You're so non-descriptive.
I don't know your dad.
I know you don't know
I've
your
never met
entire
him.
dad. I don't know why you started this
Cake
conversation.
I did not miss this. You see, he goes this sort of stuff. I
Hey,
didn't
hey,
miss.
fuck you.
This sort of stuff.
This is how you roleplay 20 charisma? I see.
Because this sort of stuff, I did not miss about my group. I guess I do kind of. I haven't thought about them in a while.
I just couldn't.
Have you come across a man named Carter Merrimall? About 4'5" on a good day. It's snowing, so it's probably more like 3'2".
That man lost a foot.
That's what you see above the snow.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of dwarves, but also from far away, it's kind of hard to tell if somebody's a dwarf or not. Is there any other identifying information you can give me?
Wasn't he kidnapped by a bald guy?
He was kidnapped by a bald guy.
Oh.
I forgot about that one.
By a bald-headed bitch.
By evil
I
bald
have
bitch.
super duper seen one of those.
Oh,
Bald
they're
man.
bastards, dude.
Yeah.
Big bald
big-
man
yeah,
with a
enormous
hammer,
bald dick.
Yeah, he had like a.
Thayan accent.
I guess it
Hook
was kind of a
down.
hammer. It looked more like a big rock on a stick.
Absolutely, that sounds like a hammer to me. Caveman hammer.
Yeah, it was like a massive rock, sort of poorly tied to a stick. He and I got into it a little bit. He's
Was
a tough
the-
customer.
What was the dwarf there?
So this is what we get on a nat 1 is Rowan. I'm just clarifying. I'm just.
Well, no,
seeking
the
to
Nat 1 was a
understand.
blizzard. The 10 was Rowan, I think.
No,
Nope.
No,
Nat 1's a Yeti.
that one was the Yeti.
You guys
but
just
we
ran
already...
into a Yeti, so you get Rowan. Because that's what happens when you roll the same encounter twice.
What happens the third time?
Rowan
We get
again.
Rowan again?
Hey.
Rowan round 3.
Just
We get drift.
Seen this guy?
Rowan.
Shield.
What are you
armor,
up to out here?
Ice.
I'm looking for. You guys ever heard of Oral?
Yes.
I'm looking for her. There's something really important I need her to do.
Do we know where Oral is?
Who's
Here.
Oral?
Minor frost god. It's not that uncommon not to know her. I'm pretty sure she's somewhere around here. I've checked kind of everywhere with ice, and this seems like the most plausible place to find her. I sort of the thing that's been happening in the sky seems exceedingly divine, so I'm pretty sure this is it. But yeah, I just need her to help a friend out.
Can
Back
we-
to the ball, man. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can I make like a religion check to know whether Tiny knows that Oral is evil?
Yeah, make a religion check.
I mean, is anybody really evil?
10.
Yeah. Aside from the Nazi wizards, is
You've heard of
anybody
Oral.
really evil?
Ice giants have occasionally interacted with Oral in the past. You don't know much about Oral except that she's a part of a trinity of gods. There's Oral of ice, and then there's another god of the sea, and then a third god that you have difficulty remembering.
Neptune.
She's one of them 3 peoples.
Yeah. I just need her to take care of my friend, help them out, and then thinking of settling down someplace. It's just really important for me to take care of here before I sort of move on. I guess I've kind of been buried in my work a little bit. But so you guys haven't heard anything about Oral?
Not personally, no.
Have I?
Can I roll? What would this be a?
14.
14. You know a little bit more about Oral. You know that Oral is the evil goddess of ice and winter. Hearing that Oral is here probably explains why the sun hasn't risen. If Oral is here, well, gods aren't supposed to be on the material plane, period. So if Oral is here, that's definitely probably what's causing this insane winter. And also probably what's preventing you from occasionally being able to alter the weather.
I was gonna say, can I do like a flat intelligence check to connect the fact that the guard said it's best not to anger the weather, and this man is now looking for Snow Queen?
That's a pretty easy dot to connect. You don't have to roll.
Okay.
You roll a 20.
Did you roll a 20?
What can I say?
New
Not
brain
even-
blast.
Yeah, no, 20? Definitely.
I just put it down. I'm sorry.
For sure.
Wait, did you actually get a 20?
Yeah,
Yeah.
F-E-R.
She dropped the
S-E-R.
die. and
I
got
dropped
a
the die
20.
back. I got a 20. I always leave my dice resting on low numbers, so they save up their high charges.
It worked.
It works I'm sorry. I
You
just
tell
worked.
him
On a natural
That's how math.
20.
It is a natural. More information.
You really brain blast. Because, so you've got all of these disparately connected dots.
Yeah.
The Aurora.
Yeah.
Oral.
Yeah.
The rhyme of the Frostmaiden. the everlasting winter that is set in.
Sure.
He said that the Aurora seems to be divine, which is what led him to believe Oral's here.
And
If
she's been
Oral-
fucking with the weather. The weather's been fucking with the weather.
If Oral is causing the Aurora, you've witnessed the Aurora, and more importantly, you've seen how it traces across the sky. If that's somebody casting a divine spells, while more powerful, are still spells. They have the things that spells have. They have language that has to be spoken. They have motions that need to be completed. They have ranges. You suspect Oral flies across the sky casting the spell while concentrating on this spell and spreads it across the sky. Which means, because you've seen the Aurora and you've seen that it spreads from north to south, she is somewhere in the north. You in this moment take all these dots and connect that Oral is somewhere along here.
Okay. And we're not there.
How do you spell Oral's name? Because I've been spelling this.
A-U-R-I-L.
A.
Have you been spelling it
U.
Oral?
Yeah. R. What? A-U-R?
I-L.
I-L.
As Oral goes down,
Oral
and then back up, and then down.
Down again.
from north side.
Yeah. You sort of, on a natural point, you connect all those dots together and form it into a cohesive thought. You have a pretty good idea of which direction Oral is in. You think if you actually spent some time, like, studying the Aurora, this is just from passively observing it. If you spent some time actually studying the Aurora and the nature of that spell, you think you could determine exactly where she is.
Mr. Rowan.
Ew.
Sir Rowan?
Just Rowan's fine.
Rowan the skinny. I can't even.
Really, just Rowan's. Mr. Rowan wasn't even my dad. Rowan's fine.
Please. Mr. Rowan's my grandfather.
No, it wasn't my grandfather either. I actually don't know who that guy was. But...
What? You said you need to find her to help one of your friends?
Yeah.
You should look more north than where we are now.
North.
Near where the Aurora ends?
Begins.
Starts.
North.
And
Gotcha.
she's gonna look intently.
North I can do. Thank you. I appreciate that. This I did miss.
You can't have one without the other.
I mean,
You know, it was like 25% inspired moments of bravery and 75% moments of bickering.
as an out of character question,
I'm not
how do
that
you
cynical
feel?
about the fucking DIA party.
I don't. Oh, as an out of character question.
How do you feel about playing two of Michael's characters while Michael plays the third at the same time?
Double fist of Michael characters.
And we introduce
what if-
Rowan to the party.
I think. Yeah, I was just about to say that out of character. I don't think it would be kind. I don't know much about Rowan, but if this bitch is causing all these problems, why would we send him there alone?
He's not trying to fight her.
Rowan said he wanted to find her to solve a query, not to fight or kill her. So, man is body yetis.
Alright. You gave him the information. That was just my out of character question.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's massive help.
So where'd you meet this bald man? And what did he want?
How familiar are you with Faye?
Not very.
Wouldn't it be them?
No, Faye. It's with an A.
Oh.
That's not how
You asked me how to spell it. Why am I spell it?
I think I have spelled it that way. Don't ask me why I haven't.
But yeah, he says, I ran into him, near the, gosh, it's that big hill, but not like at the big hill, but I ran into him near it.
Kelvin's Cairn.
Yeah, that's what it's called, where they're making all that black ice.
They're making a bunch of black ice in Kelvin's Cairn.
Yeah.
Like
Is
the
it, like, grape
dwarfish
flavored?
people?
I don't know.
Or the Thans were
Who's in it?
making.
Oh, okay. I guess that's a good point.
But yeah, that's where most of the black ice comes from. It seemed interesting, but honestly, not worth the drawbacks.
That feels accurate, actually. Rowan's got enough baggage. He doesn't need to be stabbing himself with black ice.
I gotta go to Kelvin's Cairn. God damn it.
Well, I don't think he
Rowan's
was
not-
headed there.
I
It
think
seemed
that's
like he
part of
was
the song. Rowan's
headed-
not caring
when I
about
ran into him.
Rowan's
He was
caring.
headed. This was like maybe a 10-day ago. He was headed.
I pull out the map.
Let's see. He was
Here?
headed west.
He was headed here. Okay. What did he want?
Heading west.
So he was heading
You
towards
never
the...
eat soggy waffles. West. Yeah.
Well, he didn't want to run
There's
into.
a Miss Rose right there.
I can't read.
Well, he never wanted to. He didn't want to run into me. You seemed like he was. He was only half sort of in it when we tussled. He was only really half in it. He said he didn't have time for this. I'm frankly probably the fact that he wasn't super into the idea of fighting me is why that fight didn't go as poorly as it could have. He's a big dude and he does weird stuff.
So we should avoid him.
What kind of weird
We're
stuff?
gonna meet him.
We're gonna
He lifted me up into the air without touching me and then dropped me.
Yeah, that's magic for you.
Can't you
Goddamn
fly?
magic users.
I beg your pardon?
Is that in the song?
She just sang the song. You
Rowan
flew.
be flying.
And he flew.
Rowan sword.
Such
I
a
don't-
skinny
He was
legend.
like, I don't know how anybody would know that. I don't think that happened in hell. I didn't do it. Well, yeah. So for starters, yes. But second of all, like it takes a second sort of get that going.
I've never
He's
flown.
gonna
I don't
work
know
it
how it works.
But
Gonna work it out.
Yeah, he it was very unusual. I think it didn't seem like he was casting anything. It seemed like his hammer is probably magic somehow.
So we take the hammer, and he can't do weird stuff.
There's a pretty big hand attached to the hammer, which is attached to a pretty big arm, which is attached to a pretty big dude.
Duncan.
Take the hand, and take the hammer.
I can turn his bones to gravel. I'm here for it.
Probably not. He gives you a one-star. He goes, probably not.
Go ahead, Duncan.
What?
Anna's okay with this. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Duncan.
But he definitely had a Thayan accent. So I would guess he's
Not throwing out.
probably Thay?
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Give me a
Do you have any other information about him? Because we know he was headed west, probably to kidnap my father, because that's where my father's cabin is.
God. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, dude. Why? Anyway, my dad ain't shit.
Your dad ain't shit?
No, he is the shit, but he ain't shit to like normal people, you know? Don't think about it.
Didn't he make the thing that made the sun come back?
He made that thing? If anything can punch a hole in a... Look, I knew somebody that used to cast godly spells. If anybody can punch a hole in a thing that does that, it's pretty big. It's pretty potent.
No, it was small. You could hold it in your hand.
Show him.
I've decided you're endearing.
Show him.
The empty orb.
The Netheril objects? And she's gonna, like, you hear so much clanking in such a tiny bag.
I fixed
And then she pulls out the used Mythalar and said, oh yeah, the Netheril object of unspeakable power that is now kaput.
I don't know, that's some Tezzy shit.
Alright, well.
What? What the fuck did you just say?
Wait, are you guys telling me Tezzy didn't make it in the song? You're telling me
Song check.
Alright,
me,
song.
Kane, and Kane and Joyra made it in the song?
Who played Tezzy?
I did.
Okay, roll for Tezzy.
Make a
Fucking-
charisma check.
I'm the
is this?
DM now.
Here's the thing: is it's probably really hard to rhyme to Tezcatlipoca.
Okay, so Tezcatlipoca did have a high charisma, but I got a 4 on the die.
Tezcatlipoca did not make it in the song!
Who is
Tezcatlipoca?
that?
The
sounds,
smartest person I know.
That sounds like a curse word.
No, it's, well, so it's, you know, you don't have to be mean about the name.
Well, okay, alright, I'm sorry. I just... That seems like a lot.
Who would pick that name?
That
sounds
seems
dumb as
out
fuck.
of nowhere and unnecessary.
Fucking Christ,
Parents,
guys.
I think.
Let's be nice to our friends.
Last I heard from Tezzy, I think they're in the Wood of Sharp Teeth. I think they're with Kane working on Valar.
Well, we're a little far from
Oh, extremely.
wherever that is.
I mean, I have a marble, and you see he holds up this little orb. He goes, I think this goes straight there.
What?
Don't take his marble.
Well, I was just... I
Is
wanted
this
just
pre
wanted
or
to see it.
post
Both.
epilogue? Okay.
I'm pretty sure this goes straight there. She refused to let me leave without a way to get back.
That seems...
Why don't you hold on to that?
Alright.
Since you're
Well,
heading
Well,
north
I
to
could
meet a
also-
god.
I mean, I can also... Oh, I have no intention of
no, I don't.
fighting her unless, of course, she refuses to do what we need to do. In which case, coercion may be necessary. Yeah, I mean, I guess, like,
Okay,
I
well then
have ways of
I'll
getting around,
write,
you know.
I'll write Tessa and
Tessie.
see... Tezzy and see what she knows about Mythalar Netherese objects.
I don't know if they have mailboxes.
I was gonna
Stick the
sending
letter in the
stone, but
Oh no, the marble that you have to break it. Do
Okay.
not put it in your mouth. I
Learned that one.
I wouldn't put
I
magical
have-
objects in my mouth, even
You're telling me
Even
that
a
I
health
shoot
potion?
on a magical rock?
shoot on a magical rock. No,
No.
this
That's-
levitates cities. Why would I put it in my mouth?
Then you would
You gotta
levitate.
figure out what kind of magic it is.
by taste. You can
Sometimes-
taste.
She's made of crystals.
She's
got
rocks
rocks
in
in
her
her
mouth.
How
That's
to identify
not
rocks.
apparent to everyone.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
What?
Out of character, out of character. I apologize.
No. That's fine. You can say that in character. I'm saying that back in character.
You're made of crystals. You look like an elf.
She's got that rock in her.
Do you need it out?
No,
Is it
No.
like a
It's
problem
important.
rock?
No.
Okay. Good rock.
good rock.
Okay.
Well, multiple.
Good rock.
So many rocks.
Multiple rocks?
She
Yeah.
contains multitudes.
Yeah, don't you see the earrings?
Most people do.
Don't you have like ding ding? And...
I'm sure I have earrings, but I don't think I have.
How is Mary reacting to all this?
See your man. Mary.
Is
Is
there
marriage-
erotic fan fiction
Mary
of the
fully-
DIA
Oh,
party in?
God.
Not yet.
Oh.
Mary's checked the fuck out of this conversation after realizing it had nothing to do with her cousin. Mary's fully just.
Oh, and you haven't seen this person, right? I'm gonna like only unroll the face, not the like wanted or reward portion.
Yeah, I ran into that guy. He had a little friend.
Oh, where? Well, I guess we know where he is now. So where he was isn't. Does that matter, Mary?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We found him.
That's true.
He seemed bummed. I gave him some advice.
That was an out of character.
I figured.
The thought of one of my terribly broken characters getting advice from another of my terribly broken characters. What kind of advice?
You know, life, relationships, that sort of thing.
I see.
Just, you know, you gotta find a purpose, stick to it.
That's good advice.
That's how you really grow.
All right. Well,
Is,
thank you for your help, Rowan.
Of course, no problem. Thanks for bringing me up to speed. It's been a minute since I've talked to, like, people.
Hey, you ever want to chat again? Talk to us?
If we run in,
We're unlikely to run into each other again, I don't think.
well, if we do run into each other in the wilderness again, I will probably know Oral's location by then.
Oh, that'd be great.
Just
I'd appreciate
if
that, yeah.
if you're. 'Cause-
Or if you shoot me a sending.
Oh, do you want to? I don't know how to exchange
Exchange
rock
sending.
information.
Sending, you just imagine the person and it goes to them.
He hasn't gotten fan mail.
What the fuck?
I just imagine if you hear about people in songs, like if anybody could
You need
send
a,
Taylor
so
Swift.
first and foremost, you need a third level spell slot to cast sending.
We'll say the only people who can cast sending are
I can't.
nerds.
Oh.
Fuck you.
Second of all, you need to like be able to. You need to actually know like what the person looks like.
Oh, okay.
Like have a good idea of them in your mind
Not just no.
to send to them.
You can't just think skinny legend.
You can't just go like you can't
Get
just go
thrown.
like King of Thay and send it to the King of. you
That's
need to
what I
actually
thought. I
be
was
able
like,
to. But you've met this guy and talked to him now, so you
Yeah,
can
sure,
you
sure.
can send to him.
okay.
Does that mean they could cast send, or well, that Anna could cast sending to the guy who's just stuck in prison?
Oh, God, something.
If you ever find a picture of Tessa, I would really appreciate it.
Desi.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could just, and you see, he holds out his hand and produces a illusory image of Desi. You see a pink tiefling, hot pink tiefling, with an umbrella, with a skull on the top, wearing the robes. Hold on, make that check. Wearing the robes of Candlekeep.
Oh.
This was the last time I saw her.
Okay. I'm gonna remember that face, I guess.
Well, I should be headed north. There's a whole lot of north to cover, so thank you for the tip. And good luck with your dad and your cousin, I guess.
Good luck with your friend.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And you see he just starts walking past you guys towards the north as you continue your journey south.
He's thirsting after a lady. I can
Dude,
tell.
he's.
No one would go this far.
You think he's just trying to get laid because we should tell him about elves.
About what?
Not all elves, okay? Just like specifically.
Oh my God.
Not-
Specifically Mary.
Specifically, like Mary or a Mary.
Is Mary
there's
listening
something-
in
there's
as they
something
go?
about Mary.
He's got to be
totally.
doing this for a woman. What's her reaction to that? I mean, you're not wrong.
You see she goes,
but
No, we're not. That's the funny
Oh,
part.
you think so? That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Alright.
Something hard.
Am I right?
Kane was always my
Let's
favorite.
go.
Oh, so you're saying you would have fanboyed if you met Kane?
You have a shirt in your pack.
it's just got the
pajamas.
masks,
That says cultist checklist.
Pajamas.
masks, candles, colored flame,
Strangely
skulls.
colored flames. Yeah, skulls.
Aw.
Skull.
It's got
Hooded
like
robes, skulls,
cartoon
strangely colored
images of
flames.
these things.
I would like that T-shirt in real
That's what I'm
life.
saying. That would be a great shirt. Is the Kane's cultist checklist?
Kane's cultist checklist.
I would have to double check that that's the
You know.
quote because I don't remember it
I
verbatim
believe
anymore.
I believe it's skulls, hooded robes, multicolored flames.
I'm just gonna let Tiny know that since we're part of the Harpers, we don't be spreading rumors about the Harpers. We'll never go down in fame for anything we help with. It'll just be under the Harpers credit,
Harper name.
just so you know.
That makes sense.
Lame.
I mean, we haven't really done anything that crazy.
You don't have to stay a Harper your whole life, though. You could move on and become a hero if you wanted to.
So you wanted to talk to Tezzy, right? Tezcatlipoca?
You guys make it here.
Is that her name?
Yes.
Okay. I will probably hold off a little
Incredibly
bit.
funny that this Galapoka did not make this
Because she's wearing.
Didn't have the time.
She's high end.
Such a
I
long
really
name.
thought that the reason she would make it into like legends and lore is because it doesn't take much
Oh, you
for
thought
some people to
she
think
was
they're
Uggo?
smart.
She was an Uggo.
Well, not Uggo, but like Uggo on the inside.
Uggo on the inside.
Oh, I thought it was the whole
So
the fact that Evil Yonder constantly was kidnapping you and telling you not to use your magic. So you would probably threaten any bard who started to sing your tale. Like, dude,
I
keep that shit
eliminate-
underwraps. I did nothing.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't change time.
Tezcatlipoca and no time shift, okay?
Nothing.
Cut out your funky rhymes.
but like I could.
No, I just it's just the. Did you see like what college she was a part of?
Wasn't that Candlekeep?
Are you okay? Okay, alright. It was. Yeah, that was that. Oh, Candlekeep, Tiny.
Yeah.
I don't.
It
I
was
just
on the
don't know
way.
if the Giants from the Giants.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was one of the stops I made on the
Did
way
you
to
stop
join
in Kent?
No, I
What
didn't
did
have,
it look like?
I didn't have any books that I wanted to give
Oh,
them.
no, yeah.
They said they already knew a whole lot about giants.
Oh, well, that's freaking
It was tall.
book nerds. I just need to think. Okay, before I call her Pat, I need to have my questions in order. I don't want to be rambling through sending stones.
The day comes to a close. You guys set up camp there by the mountain. As you have seen now that you have approached very closely to the spine of the world. The mountain range that separates the Icewind Dale from the rest of the world. Any conversations that you want to have? Any things that you want to accomplish? Or do we want to just jump into rests?
I want to go hunting for food so that we
Okay.
don't have to use up our rations.
Certainly.
What kind of...
That is going to be a survival check.
What kind of game is there? There's a
15?
15.
sentient bear.
You managed to find an elk.
Do you want to tell us what you know?
Make a
What you
attack
put
roll.
together?
23.
You're able to take down an elk. You have enough food for food.
Tiny just comes back dragging it out.
Fresh food.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Can we
Guys.
eat an entire elk in one night?
No.
No, we like some jerky it situation.
I don't think we even have the time to jerky it because we're not staying still to wait for it to dry.
That's true.
You smoke.
We can smoke it. We can cook it.
I
and
mean,
we can just
we got a
let it-
couple racks of ribs.
What?
we do. We do.
What does Duncan Duke know about smoking meats?
What does Duncan know about meats? Can Duncan handle his meats?
Can
That's what these hands are for.
You tenderize the meat?
Oh, you bet I beat meat with both hands.
Hell yeah, Duncan, you slap that meat. Double fist that meat. I'm going to, while Duncan is doing that, just, I'd like to think it's open palm. Is it open palm? Or is it closed?
Oh, am I actually beating this?
Are you tenderizing this
I'm
meat?
beating the meat, yeah. giving it all the knuckles.
Alright. I'm gonna say, while I unattach my whisper from my weapon and attach it to my armor, I'm going to talk to my party in a low voice while Mary is otherwise occupied.
Okay.
And say, that's not all that I figured out about Oral's location. I know it doesn't pertain to where we're going right now, or maybe even your father, but she's causing the aurora, which means she would have to be in the sky to cast it. And I imagine after a couple of watches, I could even find her exact location of where she's casting the
We usually
spell from.
see the aurora during second watch.
Mm-hmm.
And
Around
that's
midnight.
what I've been thinking. I don't know if, this, it probably doesn't matter to us.
I mean, people aren't having a great time up here because of the rhyme, right?
Fixing the rhyme would be in line with the Harker's mission.
The rhyme is not supposed to.
I don't know. That sounds like if we go and beat the shit out of a god, we could be heroes.
Well, we could say Rowan did it.
The
We
credit
drop
would
out of
not
Harper
go to us
School, right?
specifically.
They could write songs about us.
You can write the songs about us.
Okay, I got an idea. We get there. 4 of us drop out of the Harpers. We beat up Oral. And then, afterwards, we rejoin the Harpers.
Go.
They doesn't
Retire into
seem...
anonymity.
Exactly. We get famous for one thing only, then retire to do.
I
do
mean, Rowan
nothing.
didn't seem like he was having a great time.
You guys want to be heroes?
Fame kind of seems
We
like it sucks.
have other priorities at the moment.
We do want to
And
find
this
your
has
dad.
been going on for 2 years. They can handle a couple more days, weeks, however long it takes us to get to
definitely.
it.
Your dad takes priority. I mean, like that's family.
Oh, and we promised Mary would help her with her cousin situation. But I just...
How many days is it gonna take you to figure out where Oral is?
Well, I don't... It could take a while, Tiny. I
Oh,
have
well
to...
then we got time to do a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I just, you know...
You're just sharing
we're
information.
part of the party, and I figured
Yeah. No, I
we
appreciate
could
it.
avoid the bickering.
So you're always going to take second
And
watch, is
just-
what I'm hearing.
I do plan on taking second watch for at least the next couple of nights.
Okay, cool. Then it's settled. We'll worry about Oral when we get to it.
Sounds good.
But
And
you're gonna
break.
track her.
And break.
I don't know, man. Kicking the shit out of a god sounds fucking rad.
She could be harder to turn into paste than the Yeti.
Yeah, the Yeti went down pretty easy. I mean, I just aimed for the knee.
It didn't feel very easy for me, my lord.
You're the one that you pulled them apart at the seams.
I did do that. That's true.
Yeah,
But
you made it look pretty easy, actually.
I was scared.
I think you're bullshitting me,
I
Tiny.
was scared for a really long time.
Tiny pulled you away.
So, watches. Or are there any other things you guys would like to accomplish?
I'll take third watch.
I'll probably take first again. I don't know if I should do it during the watch because I feel like that's a bad idea to like multitask during your watch.
You can absolutely. So, to be clear to everybody, the watch affords you, particularly if you're alone, time to do something that maybe you wouldn't want anybody else to. It's going to be pretty much the only time you are alone. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it does afford you an opportunity of, if there's something you'd like to accomplish without other prying eyes. I will say that would not detract in any way from your perception checks. So you can multitask.
We can do
a bit.
things while we're looking out.
You can do things.
I've
Is the
always
short
thought of
answer.
it like sewing while watching TV.
Embroidery.
You can do more intricate tasks.
Sorry, I was thinking about something and I almost told you about it and then I remembered not to.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Shit, this is during the first watch. I would like. Well, first I want to roll perception, right?
Okay. And before you do, who's taking? So you said third, first, second, third. Anybody doubling up?
I can't because I went hunting.
You can.
Does somebody want me to take watch with them?
Moriana's gonna point at. She's not gonna suggest you take watch with someone, but she's gonna be like, she's gonna see you getting ready for bed and be like, we're all taking watch or Tiny went hunting earlier.
Yep.
Maybe you should take watch with Moriana because she's going to be watching
Oh,
the
we
sky.
don't have we.
That's a great idea. I'll take watch with her.
Okay. Moriana's
And
gonna...
you could be watching the ground while she's watching the sky.
What would you like to do on your watch?
I want to roll my check, right? Or do I do my
Perception?
thing first?
Yeah, make your perception check.
Okay.
Ooh, hot damn.
25.
You are attentive, alert. You don't notice anything happening out in the snow. What would you like to do?
My harp, once per day, I can try to compose a song to either impress people or to make up rumors to spread information. And obviously, there's no one to spread rumors to right now. I'm by myself. But I do want to attempt to compose the song, to maybe play it later, that the reason for the rhyme is somewhere in the north, and that it might be oral.
You compose.
I have to roll. I can't just do it. I have to make it 10 or higher.
I want you to be able to do this so bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna step in front of the DM screen. I want this for you so bad.
Do you want me to check anyway or no?
This is such a rad fucking idea. Just make the roll. We'll respect the rules, but I do want you to succeed.
This is a very Harper thing to do, too.
Extremely. This is so good.
I rolled a 5, but I'm gonna use lucky.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, is it a performance check or is it just a straight? Because you got performance.
Activity DC as part of a long rest.
Musical instrument activity DC. So that's going to be that would be charisma or dexterity plus your proficiency times 2.
So 9.
Charisma. Sorry.
Charisma is along the left-hand side.
Plus my proficiency.
Which makes sure your proficiency is doubled.
Okay. So.
Oh, I see.
And you said plus 2?
Twice.
Twice. So twice your proficiency.
Oh, so it would be a 9.
Plus 5.
Oh, plus 5.
Mhm.
Oh, so I do pass.
You pass?
Yeah.
Yeah, you compose the rhyme of the frost.
The reason for the rhyme.
The reason for the rhyme.
It's like a Christmas song, but it's about this horrible thing that's happening to people.
The source of the rhyme is anger divine.
Yeah, you compose a pretty solid ballad. Yeah, it's really good, and you have a feeling it could catch on if you were able to play it for people.
Dude, can you play it into my head as I'm sending to somebody, and we could just spread it?
Like radio.
I think we'll have opportunities to spread it. Like,
We're going to town.
I wish I had looked more into my instrument, because we should have played some goss for those gentlemen when we were and ladies when we were at the prison, but we did not. We should have been spreading hot goss this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
As is our duty.
But yeah, you spend a couple of hours here putting something together. Second watch.
Yep.
Perception checks from the both of you.
Hell yeah.
And then would you like to offer help with the charting?
Sure.
So the way this is going to go is we're going to be working towards a total
Okay.
of 100.
All right.
All right. So this is going to be cumulative. This is something that's going to take a couple of nights.
Okay.
Are you going to be using any tools to aid you here?
Yeah. I'll use some
Astrolabe.
like arcane cartography tools. I have tools of tinkering,
Cartographer's tools, I think, are the right notes. for
and
it.
I can do cartographer's tools, and I know maps, baby.
So with the cartographer's tools, you're going to get double your proficiency, so expertise.
Okay.
And this will be an Arcana check. So add your Arcana modifier, your proficiency times 2, and whatever you get on the 20 with advantage for the help.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
And you're going to be making your way. This will be cumulative towards 100. Once we reach that 100 total,
So
you
I'm
will
sorry.
have made your goal.
So expertise, Arcana.
Expertise plus Arcana plus 20. Plus your D20. This with advantages tonight. I'll say that you've set up like these telescopes and astrolabe, and he's helping you in an annual sense here.
Wait, would it be plus Arcana or plus Intelligence?
Arcana. Or, intelligence.
it would be plus Intelligence.
Okay.
Arcana uses your intelligence.
Yeah, but
it-
you don't want to
you
add
can
your
incorporate your proficiency. You're right. So intelligence plus
So
expertise.
so I would be using like tools for the trade kind of deal,
Yes. It's your
or right tool for the job is what it's called.
it's so it's going to be D20
Okay.
plus intelligence plus
Okay.
your expertise. So plus your proficiency doubled.
That's right.
and roll with advantage.
Well, that's gonna be a
That's infinity.
19.
That's infinity. That's double infinity.
All right, 19. Go ahead, keep track of this running total.
Okay.
You have 19 out of 100.
All right. So bad.
That's not nothing. That's almost a fifth of the way there. And then perception checks from the both of you.
Perception. I also rolled an 8. Haha. For a total of 13.
13.
5.
Don't see anything really going on out in the wilderness.
I mean, I'm worried with the way that he's like slightly to the left with that one, and he like cranks it to the left, and I'm like, these instruments are finite.
Last watch. Go ahead, make a perception check. Is there anything you'd like to do during this watch?
I am going to pull out a single copper and alter value.
Okay.
But I'm going to roll my perception. 10.
10.
Mm-hmm.
You don't notice anything except, of course, Mary waking, stretching, and going to keep fixing.
I'm going to do the alter value spell before Mary wakes up.
Okay. Is this a spell from your book?
I say it's a spell from my book. I don't know how it works. I'm trying it for the first time.
So you've taken out this copper.
Mm-hmm.
What do you try to do?
What do I try to do?
Yeah. What is your desired intent that you place upon this copper?
Based off of the description of the spell and alter value and stuff, I'm going to try to turn this copper into gold.
Roll a D100.
You should have done that on a goblet of water and made it wine.
There's no God, there's no Jesus in this world. You would have just had.
How am I reading
wine.
this D100?
That could be you. You could be.
I read a D100 differently than you read a D100.
You mean the not correct way? What do you mean?
No,
what
I
do
mean
you
I
mean?
read it the correct
What
way.
did you get on the first die?
I did not roll it yet.
Okay, so
I'm just
double-
gonna tell you what
it's
die I roll.
It's the 00 is the tens place, the other die is the ones place, and 100 is 3 zeros.
That is how I read it.
I read it differently.
Then it's you I have a problem with.
That's 10.
Beefing. Nice.
11. Sorry.
11. Give me just a moment.
This is the reason I want to get a 100-sided die. There is no confusion if the die has
You
100
get
sides.
You get a pigeon. It's like a magic trick.
Get a pigeon.
It's 11 copper coins.
The
Can I
copper
see-
coin is split into 11 pieces.
It just
What do you need?
breaks.
It just breaks in your
I'll
hand.
just look it up.
Do you need Xanathars?
What's the one with shop prices?
The DMG?
Yeah, pass me the DMG.
Oh, it's actually...
Oh.
Sorry. I put the dungeon mastery ones on that side.
Let's see here, give me just a moment. I realized that table would be so damn hard to get there.
It increased in value by 11%. It's a slightly larger copper piece.
Oh, it's worth 11 copper.
We harnessed PIM particles.
Let's see.
It's actually worth less right now. It's, what's less than copper? Iron? I don't know. Nobody uses iron to trade, so yeah, it's worth iron.
Zinc.
Zinc.
What can't I see through? The deep? Zinc. I love the peak. He's the worst.
You watch as it transforms into what appears to be ivory.
1 copper pour.
And then make an Arcana check.
And the ivory chair.
24.
The spell appeared to have a multiplicative effect. So mechanically, it multiplied its value by what you got on the D100.
Don't look around.
Damn.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
at the lowest, nothing would happen. Slightly above that, you would double its value. At its maximum potential, you would multiply its value by 100. Gold. It would have turned into a goal in this instance. Additionally, you feel odd after having cast that spell. There's something unusual that you feel within yourself.
I am checking my crystals to see if any of them have changed in tone or color immediately. If I'm feeling weird, I'm feeling change with an Arcana check,
What
Please,
is one of the crystals? Where would it be in terms of closest to your extremities? So furthest away from your center. Where would that be?
furthest away?
Yeah.
It would probably be towards the ends of my wrists.
Okay.
That's the furthest. The closest would be upper arm, upper shoulder, or I don't know which one's closer. Behind the eyes. I do have crystals behind my eyes.
They
They're
make your eyes
tiny.
light up. Yeah.
They do.
You see that the crystals at the very furthest edges of your wrists, the tips of them are slightly discolored. They are slightly dark.
Okay.
Do you have a full set of crystal nails?
Crystal nails. If you say that idea to her, she will take it to heart. She has not thought of that. She's not thought of crystals for fashion.
They're purely functional.
Purely functional. The ones behind her eyes affected her telekinetic and telepathic abilities. That's why she put them there, to see what they would do to her brain.
Crystal nails could affect your slicing like a yeti.
Claws, ladies' claws.
Claw check.
Ice knife.
But yeah, so you do notice that.
Okay. I'm going to study this as much as I can over the next couple nights, so I'll call it here for now.
Relatable, sister.
Literally me. You guys come to the next morning, rip-raring and ready to go for another day of travel as you aim to arrive at your, hopefully not final destination. That's where we're going to go ahead and leave off for tonight. We ran a little bit long and we ran a little bit early, but who gives a fuck? I like spending more time with you guys.
That carp vlogs is going pretty quickly in front of us.
No. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and film our DM diaries now for our after show that we do for Patreon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check out the YouTube. We're regularly uploading previous episodes to YouTube once a week.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday, check it out. It's the Lord's Day, which is a good day to watch D&D.
It's the day of rest. The day of rest in D&D. Deal
It's
with it.
the day of rest. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Come dice with us next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.